Okay, my esteemed viewers, this is Satellite Media. Let us look at the controversy between Nigeria and United Kingdom. In what looked like UK backing Joe Ajaero over the recent detention of the NSC president. We are seeing something here. He said the Trade Union Congress, TUC of the United Kingdom, has condemned the federal government over Monday's arrest and detention of Nigerian Labour Congress president. I'm talking about Joe Ajaero. But they do remember that Joe Ajaero was bid to attend a TUC Congress and conference in UK before he was arrested and stopped from attending. And I've listened to a former director of DSS who have alleged that it was not possible that Ajaero will visit that country without having conversation with Andrew Wayne, who is accused of trying to undermine Nigerian government.
Of course, the young man, the Briton, who was given a charge with treason, according to federal government, for aligning, or for a kind of seeing reasons why Nigeria should go to the street. Even the federal government themselves want Nigerians on the street to protest because they know that the reality on ground does not benefit Nigerians as it stands now. But they are quick to react in trying to get the Joe Ajaero, the Nigerian Labour Congress leader, arrested. That did not paint the picture very well. A lot of people are already seeing Abacha in Aso Rock. There's no two ways about it,
Sorry, let us look at the implication this may have on the image of Nigerian government. Seeing that in the global community, UK is already bashing Nigerian government for trying to muzzle labor.
Yes, you know that we have International Labour Organization, which happens to house Nigerian Labour Congress too. They are sure, they are aware, and they collaborate, they network across nations of the world who are also members of International Labour Organization. So anything that is happening in any country in terms of labor, is adequately they have access to information regarding what is happening in any country that is under the International Labour Organization. So they are aware fully, and they have come to make it very clearly that the way and manner this government is trying to pull down voices who are rising against anti-people policies might not be pleasant to the British system, and so therefore, and that's why you are seeing they have come out to make it very clearly they are not comfortable with the way Tinubu and his boys are running Nigeria like a cartel, So, but away from that, it can also get to a point of attracting severe bilateral relationship with Nigeria, which will adequately, decisively affect Nigeria in a very unbelievable way that people might begin to wonder what has actually, come over at the end of the day. But let us look at what Labour stood for. In the recess of it, if you ask me honestly, I am not too comfortable with Ajero's NLC, Nigerian Labour Congress under his word.
Well, let us leave Ajaero out of it. Let us look at the broader picture. What do you think this will portend for Nigeria-UK diplomatic relation, knowing that we have always enjoyed good relationship with UK, and beyond UK, we know that America is an ally of UK, France is an ally of UK, Germany is an ally of UK. Looking at the broader picture, what do you think this portend for Nigeria when it comes to UK and its ally?
You can understand that it was a labor union in UK that made that press release accusing the federal government of the way and manner Ajaero was treated. So I'm trying to let you know that this borders to International Labour Organization and member countries who are part of the International Labour Congress. They can network in that regard and be able to look at how they can use their influence globally to stop every to bring pressure on Nigerian government if they sense threat to Nigerian Labour Congress, or if they feel that Ajero has been, inhumanly treated in that regard. They can instigate other countries or other country members to, act, decisively against Nigeria. That's why we are everybody looking at that. This is coming from a union, a labor union in UK, and we have other labor unions in different countries of the world under International Labour Organization, the ILO, as it's been called. So it can break down, a network. It can break down relationship. It can break down bilateral. It can go to an extent, of attracting, economic sanctions on Nigeria, and of course, putting embargo on government officials of Nigeria extraction from visiting or having access to any allied forces that or any country that share, bilateral interest with UK, and the UK might decide to use that as against them, and that would not actually augur well for Nigeria, because as I'm talking to you, we understand very clearly that UK has their own bloc called Commonwealth. That Commonwealth comprises of countries, globally colonized by UK. Of course, they can use it against Nigeria. They can use such countries against Nigeria. They can use their allied forces against Nigeria if they sense continuous abuse of human rights of the labor organizations in Nigeria and labor unions in Nigeria. So there's an international aspect of it, law, that also empowers them to carry out such action or even report such activities, anti-people activities, to other countries who are allied forces to UK, and so therefore it can breed a kind of attention that might lead to banning or stopping or restricting Nigerian government officials from accessing international space in terms of business or whatever at the end of the day.
Okay, now we understand that the government have not clearly come out to specify the offence of Ajero, but the other time we are made to understand that Ajero is landlord to Andrew when the Briton that was accused of trying to undermine Tinubu's government. Do you think Ajaero have been fairly treated?
No, I don't think so in that regard, because already the IG has mopped out front up charges against him that include treasonable felony and other charges that is against the government according to them. But the underlining charge there is a treasonable felony. And they also accuse the Briton of the same offence, trying to overthrow Tinubu's government. But if you look at it, we understand that Andrew Owen has been in Nigeria for a very a long time, and he felt that he needed to sympathize with Nigeria, who are also going through this economic hardship as a result of government policies. You understand? But I do not see such as a treasonable offence. But of course, government want to assert powers over anything they feel that is a threat to them, and that's what the federal government is trying to do. They just want to show they are actually in charge and they can do and undo, forgetting that the power also belongs to the people, and the people can rise at any point in time against them, and they cannot be able to stand. But in a civilized world, in a secular society like Nigeria, so to say, if at all the judiciary is supposed to function or independent the way it's supposed to be, of course it should be left for the court to interpret whether Andrew Owen, who is a Briton working in Nigeria, and the NLC president Joe Ajaero, if they share any kind of gang up, that would have led to civilian coup against the president, this present administration. If that can be certain in the competent court of law, of course it can be interpreted legally in the court. So when they go to court, the court will be able to pass judgment in that regard, and Nigerians will be able to know whether actually the actions of Ajaero was treasonable. It's as simple as that.
Okay, now let us see that the office of Serap, I'm talking about Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, was invaded by DSS. Though the DSS have come out clearly to say that it was a routine operation, investigation, that it is unfortunate that it was being skewed against them. Do you sense any danger in the way of freedom of press under this administration?
APC has always found a way, one way or the other, to stop the press. If not for they have come out to so many policies that are anti-information based. They're trying to stop Nigeria from accessing information. But the resistance has also been there right from the time we started. Buhari came into power very clearly. We understand it very clearly. We saw it even under Tinubu trying to do one or two things against the issue of having access to internet or social media or thereabout. But I think there was an outcry and there was some level of resistance on that regard. So Nigerians have stood their ground. Definitely, the government of Tinubu understand the consequences of carrying out anti-social policies. It might likely work, against them. But as it stands now, I am seeing the era, a tyrannical era. I'm seeing a dictatorship, in power. I'm seeing emperoric antecedents in Abuja. I'm also seeing, the man in question is trying to transform to another Abacha at the end of the day. So for me, I felt that Tinubu's government has not been able to, play that very role of being a Democrat and trying to champion people's oriented, policies at the end of the day. So that's why it looks like the way it is today. It is not something comfortable for us anyway, but we are watching, ready to arm ourselves against any government that continue to become a threat to its people 2027. And I hope people will look into that direction and know what to do at the end of the day.
Okay, Mr. Chinedu, I think I must say very thank you for your time. This is Satellite Media and I'm Mr. Martin. We hope to have you next time as always. Thank you very much.